Lower 6th Further Maths A-Level Pure Core 1 past paper, June 2016, and we have a complex numbers question from FP1, June 2016. So, first of all, we need to find in the form a plus bi the value for z, and z is 4 over 1 plus I. So what we have to do here is a classic case of rationalising the denominator, or getting rid of the i's that are on the bottom of the fraction here. So what we do here is we times by the complex conjugate on the bottom of the complex number. So we're going to get 4 minus 4i. So we're timesing the top here, and it's effectively like a bracket. So it's 4 times 1 and then 4 times minus I. And then on the bracket on the bottom here, it's like two double brackets, each bracket times by each other. So we're going to get a 1, then we're going to get a minus I, but then we're also going to get a plus I. So I'll cancel that out in my head. And then we're going to get a minus I squared. And from this thing here, we're going to get 4 minus 4i on the top. On the bottom, we're going to simplify I squared. Now, from the square root of minus 1 being I, minus 1 is going to equal I squared. So if you're minusing a minus 1, you add it on. So 1 plus 1 is 2. And then what we can do here is we can cancel down the 2's and the 4's. So it's just 2 minus 2i. So that's the answer to part A. Part B is z squared. Just before that, we can actually check part A. We've done that correct on our calculator. If you go to the menu button and you click option number 2, the complex number mode, type in your complex number, press enter. You don't have to really do anything, and it gives you the answer straight away. We'll check part B after we've actually done it. So it's going to be 2 minus 2i squared. Now with this part here, you don't square the individual terms inside your bracket. You treat it as you would in GCSE and write it out fully, expanding two brackets. So you'd get 4 minus 4i minus another 4i, and then it would be plus 4i squared. So I squared will simplify to minus 1, so that's actually a minus 4, which will cancel out with a 4 at the front. So this here on its own will just be minus 8i with no real parts in there. What we can do on the calculator is we can press answer button squared and press enter, and we get our answer of minus 8i. But make sure you do check these complex number questions if you can on your calculator, but do make sure that you've written enough working for the examiner to give you full marks for it. Right, the next part of this question is, given that z is a complex root of the quadratic x squared plus px plus q equals 0, where p and q are real integers, find the value of p and q. Right, okay, well I knew that z was 2 minus 2i. So what I'm going to do here down the left hand side is the opposite of completing the square. So I'm going to do z minus 2 equals minus 2i. So just taking the 2 onto the side. Then I'm going to square both sides. Z minus 2 squared equals, and this part squared is going to be minus 4. The minus 2 part squared is going to give you the 4, and the I squared part is going to give you the minus 1. So you just then times those two together to get the minus 4. Okay, taking it onto the other side, and I'll expand this left-hand bracket as well. Z squared minus 4z plus 4 from the bracket, and then I'm going to add another 4 over to the other side, and that equals 0. So I'm going to get z squared minus 4z plus 8 equals 0. So p equals minus 4 and q equals 8. And that's the answer to that question, 7 marks.